Hello, kings and queens around the world. This is Tsipporah The Explorer. I'm a YouTuber, podcaster, and expat living in Japan. I have partnered with blackasiamagazine today. We are going to peek into the world of Tomi's world, who is a YouTuber hailing from Jamaica. And she is such a light on YouTube, and I am personally a fan. She has no idea, but I'm a huge fan. And
Oh no.
she's been a YouTuber for 4 years, and she's also been living in Japan for 4 years. Hello, Queen Tomi. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you here. So you're from Jamaica, and usually my students think I'm from Jamaica. So when they see me, they just be like, bum, 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 bum. Like, do your students do that to you?
To be fair, my students now are elementary school students,
Oh,
so they have
okay.
no idea what or where Jamaica is. They think it's in Africa,
Oh.
but they do know about Usain Bolt, so I'm counting that as a win.
Okay, yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. So me and Tomi, we first met at one of our work conferences. We were basically paid to see each other and paid to see our friends. And basically
Paid to vibe.
yeah, paid to vibe, exactly. And I saw her from across the room, and I was like, I recognize that girl. Wait, I know her. Why do I know her? I'm like, oh, that's Tomi's world. Oh my gosh, I am in the presence of
Oh
the
my
glorious
god.
and the gorgeous queen that is Tomi. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you're so famous.
Oh my god.
Like, would you even consider yourself famous? Because when I saw you, I was like, oh my gosh, like she has 15.4 thousand subs on YouTube. This girl's famous. Like, would you consider yourself famous?
I definitely do not consider myself famous.
Really?
Um, to be fair, I kind of get a little bit like if I was less dark, I would be a tomato right now
Oh.
because I'm just blushing so much. But I definitely don't consider myself to be famous. I just think I have a few more friends on the internet than most people. Not
Oh.
most people, than some people.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, oh my god, that must feel so so warm and so exciting. You have so many connections around the world. That's so
It
cool.
definitely is pretty interesting. I remember, I think it was last year on my Instagram, I was like, hey guys, could you just tell me Merry Christmas from wherever you are in the world? And I
Uh-huh.
didn't realize that I had followers from so many countries because my YouTube channel is mainly mainly in English, other than the few videos that I will do in Japanese.
Mhm.
So I wasn't aware that I had followers from like Spain or Brazil, other Spanish speaking countries. I
Wow.
have people from some countries that I don't even remember right now, but it was really heartwarming to see all these people supporting me and helping me to make kind of my dream come true.
Oh my god, that is so freaking cool. And I always be seeing you slaying on the gram, girl. Like I I see you slaying all day, every day. Like it's so amazing. And I think especially as a woman, as a Jamaican, or as like a plus size girl, like seeing you just traveling all over the world and seeing you just embracing your natural beauty. It's just I feel like it's so important. Like what does it mean to you?
So for me personally, when I came to Japan, I really felt like there wasn't much representation for people who looked like me in
Oh,
Japan.
okay.
And that was something that I just wasn't gonna let fly because the
Yes.
Jamaican in me was like, well, I am here and everyone's gonna know about it, okay?
Yes.
So I figured that I had an important message to talk about or to
Mm.
get across to people because I am a big girl in a small people's world, I would say,
Ah.
because Japan is made for really petty people. Like sometimes I'll go on the bus and I have to stand up even though I would love to sit down, but the seats don't have enough space to like fit my legs, or when I go shopping,
Mm.
I won't be able to find clothes, so I have to go to special stores that I had to find, and I had to really search for these stores when I just came to Japan. And just a lot of stuff like that, like people staring or touching my
Mm.
hair. I would always think about it, and I'm like, I cannot be the only person who this is happening to. And
Mhm.
also, there will be people who will come to Japan after me who look like me. And I would just love for them to know that whatever you're going through, it's not in your mind. This is actually like your feelings are valid. Other people have experienced it, and this is how we deal with it. So I just always try to keep it 100% real.
Oh.
If you ever realize, like, my channel is definitely not aesthetic in a very aesthetic world. Everyone is like pouring coffee next to roses, but I literally cannot do it. So I'm like, this is my life. I'm chaotic. I am a plus size black woman living in Japan, and this is what happens to me in this situation.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I love that so, so much. Like when I watch your videos, I can feel like just the openness and just I feel like we're like besties, like just watching your videos, even though we've only like really met in
Oh my
person
god,
once.
thank you so much.
Yeah. And like I think it takes so much courage to really like put yourself out there and just sharing your story, like you said, living in a world in Japan where everything is just a little bit smaller. Um, but I think yeah, representation matters, and like yeah, the people coming behind us will see you and be like, wow, I can do it too. That's just I love that so much. Thank you so much for that.
No,
So
no, no, it's definitely like my pleasure.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so like I've also like tried my hand at YouTube like every other expat and it's not easy at all, but you make it seem so easy. Like were you always like a video person? Cause you make it look so natural and like so fluid.
Have you seen my earlier videos? I feel like you haven't seen my earlier videos. So first of all, I am not a technologically advanced human being. Like I do not play with the technology. I grew up with my grandma. We both
Oh.
used to talk about how everyone is so connected to their phones and how people need to go outside and play. So that was me. So when I decided that I was going to make my first video, I was like, okay, I have iMovie on my phone. So I just went the normal route of how people normally start out with using the iMovie trailers to make my introduction videos and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, it didn't really matter to me at first, to be fair, because I wasn't starting my YouTube channel to get famous or to get followers. I was just sick and tired of everyone that I knew asking me about like what is it like teaching in Japan? How is it like being fat in Japan? Do you like anime? Do you like this? And then you have some really weird, messed up ideas like,
Mm.
oh, Japanese people eat weird food or stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you guys, but I'm going to show you all collectively at once. So whenever anyone asks me this question, I'm going to send you a video link and you can go watch it. But after I started my YouTube channel, I realized that people kind of like the connection of being able to ask me a question more than watching my videos. I'm going to put it like that because a lot of my friends and family, the same people who were asking, just would not watch the content. And it was a lot of like people that I did not know who were tuning in, and they were like, oh my God, thank you so much for saying this. I feel seen, I feel so validated. And I'm like, but it's just
Wow.
me and my little
Mm.
camera here. So then I was like, you know what? I could do this for more people. And then I actually started really liking it because when I was in Yamaguchi, I didn't teach as much. I was more of a desk warming jet. So I had a lot of time on my hands, and I would get home and not be able to sleep because I had sat for 8 hours not doing anything.
Uh-huh.
So I wasn't even tired because my body didn't get any motion. So it
Mm.
was a nice way to kill time, I feel like, as well. Then I actually started liking it.
Oh, that's where it went wrong. Wow. Wow. So when you first started, like, did you always have people like commenting like supportive things, or like did you have like some trolls? Like, how do you deal with like those trolls, those haters like coming at you? Because like I posted a video about I think it was like the Nike commercial, and I posted like my opinion about it. And like so many people, so many haters that I don't even know how they found the video, were just hating on me. And I was just like, oh my God. But like it was a good thing because like more people were like watching the video, but also at the same
Yeah,
time, just like, like how do I
yeah,
deal? Like, you know.
yeah. I totally understand what you're saying. Like, initially when I started posting, my channel was so small, so it didn't get trolls because it was only being watched by people who really had to like directly search for this type of content, because the
Right.
content that I'm posting is really niche. So in the beginning I didn't get a lot of trolls, but once my channel started to grow, the trolls came in. And I'm gonna say something that's probably really ridiculous, but my first ever downvote on my one of my YouTube videos, I was so excited. I took a picture and I sent it to my dad, and I'm like, "Look, I'm famous. I have haters. I have haters now, so I'm totally famous."
Yes, yes, I love that that perspective. Yes, yes, that mindset is everything.
Oh my god! Because like in Japan, being a YouTuber in Japan,
Mhm.
and not just being a YouTuber, being a foreign YouTuber who is also black is very difficult. I feel like the Japanese market is very niched with who they watch and what they like. So a lot of the times, a lot of the big creators who come out of Japan are either Japanese people or Caucasians.
Mm.
And I know people will say like, what about Sunday Love? And if you realize, Sunday Love used to live in South Korea, and a lot of her followers she gained in
And
South
so,
Korea.
mm.
And I know that because I love her and I watch her channel all the time. So I'm like, why don't people like her have more followers? Like, she's great. Her channel is aesthetic. I love watching it. It's so fun and easygoing. But then you look at other people doing the same content and just growing exponentially, and you're like, okay, so maybe it's a little bit more difficult for um, black African American or black anyone, like black people in
Mhm.
general, to grow in this space. So
Mm.
when I realized that my channel was actually taking off, I was actually kind of surprised. But I feel like I've
Yeah.
strayed from the point. So let's
Oh,
go back a little.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you're totally fine. So yeah, so like you talked about your YouTube popping off. Like when did that happen? And like, can you like take us through like what feelings are going on during that time? And like, yeah, when did you see it happen? And when did you realize like, oh, this YouTube thing might be a thing, you know?
So I feel like there was no huge like Zoom growth for me. That didn't
Mm.
really happen for me. My channel grew really steadily. It was like
Ah.
5,500,
I like how you I like how I like how you say that so casually, like, oh,
No, wait.
500,
I'm saying 5,000, but my mind is thinking 500. Sorry,
You're good, you're
Discalculate, I'm
good.
sorry.
You all good, it's
All
all
right.
good.
So
Mm.
my channel was at like 500, then 510, 520. So I could watch it grow. And I feel like one of the moments that I got a little bit more recognition was when my video Black Girl Gets Her Hair Done in Japan actually took off. It took off just a little bit. It didn't go like mega famous, and I really thought it might have done a little bit better than it did because it was a time when everyone was getting their hair done in foreign countries. Like black that was the trend. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hop on this trend and see what can happen for my channel because trends are very important. Like when you're just starting out, because you need to find what other people are watching so people can discover you, right? So I did it and it didn't really pop off like I thought it would, but I did get a few thousand views over like a few months. So I'm like, okay, this is not bad. But those views didn't really turn into subscribers because people were very mad at me, especially in the Black community. They were like, why did you go and get your hair messed up? Or come over here and I can do your hair for way cheaper. Why are you letting them mess up your hair? And I'm like, okay, it's just a video.
Right, it's just experience.
I'm just trying something new.
Right.
But
Wait, what did you do? What type of hairstyle did you do? I haven't seen the video, so
I actually got the Japanese straightening perm.
Oh.
Would not recommend for
Oh.
black hair.
Oh.
My hair still hasn't recovered from that.
Oh my
So
goodness. Oh my goodness.
But it's very different from how we do our hair. Like whenever we perm our hair, it's just like a perm, then we rinse it out and then flat iron and we're done.
Right.
But they perm, then they perm, then they rinse it out, then they flat iron it, then they rinse it out again after the flat iron. I'm like, wait, is this controversial? But it's like their thing, and it was really nice to try.
Yeah.
But as I said, like that video, the views didn't really turn into subscribers because people were mainly mad at me. And then I posted this video about learning to speak Japanese, I think. And I posted it back in October and it wasn't getting a lot of clout. It was just doing okay. And then I was on my birthday vacation actually in Okinawa in December, January. And I don't normally check my YouTube stats while I'm out or even social media that much. So I kind of popped on my birthday and I'm like, wait, I just gained like 100 subscribers in a day. What is happening? Then I kept going back and like sometimes I'd gain like 300 subscribers and I'm like, wait, what is happening? And I'm looking and then I realized that that video was blowing up. And it's funny because a lot of people would think something like that would make you happy. But sometimes getting a lot of subscribers, especially in a video that you never wanted to make more of that type of content, is very difficult because it kind of puts you in a niche. And I don't want to be making videos about like learning Japanese all the time. Right. So I'm like, oh no.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It sort of like pushes you into that small little category and like, yeah, you sort of have to, you know, once you have those watchers, deliver on that, right? Yeah. Oh my God, that's like also like pressure too. Like, oh, wow, wow, wow. So that's a really, so this was around like, what would you say, like 1 year, like 2 years in, or?
I think, yeah, it was like on the 1 year mark, like a little bit before the 1 year mark, I remember getting 1,000 subscribers. But this particular video that blew up was around the 2 year mark. Yeah.
Wow.
2.5 years.
Wow. So you got 1,000 subscribers in a year. That's amazing. You're like a marketing genius.
I wish.
Do you consult, by the way?
I mean, only for you.
Oh, thanks, girl. Wow, that's really remarkable. Wow, that's so impressive. Yeah. So like, yeah, like when I'm watching your videos, I'm like, oh, Like Tomi is she's so open and just so vibrant and just glowing. And I'm just like, wow, like how does she have the confidence to like put her story out there like this? And like, have you always been like such this open person? Like, have you always been that way? Or
I I feel like the my personality on YouTube is actually my personality in real life,
oh,
which
that's
makes everything a lot easier because
awesome.
I'm not trying to pretend. I've always been this open. I kind of think, I feel like I think differently from a lot of people because I always feel like my life experiences are just kind of testimonies for other people so that they don't have to make the same mistakes that I make. And then I feel like sometimes when I stumble or I make a mistake or I go on a bad date or I don't know where to get clothes and stuff like that, it's still just stuff that other people can learn from, even while
Right.
it's entertaining. And my aunt made a really good point recently, Auntie Alicia. She was telling me that, like, maybe one of the reasons why I'm so good at YouTube is because I'm a good teacher. Because I called home, this was when I was having a very bad mental day, and I'm like, why am I a teacher? I don't think I want to teach kids anymore, and I want to do something else, but my degree is only in teaching, so I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, you don't always have to be a teacher just because you have a teaching degree. Maybe one of the reasons you're so good at like your YouTube stuff is because you are a teacher and you're able to relate information to people like that. And with your personality, you being always open, that's something that you have to do as a teacher as well, because you always have to try to find some way to relate to your kids. And then I'm like, well, with YouTube, it's kind of like teaching. Instead of kids, I'm in front of a camera. It's just me
Yeah.
talking. And when I put it out there, I'm trying to relay some sort of information. I'm trying to tell you how you can get on the program like me, how you can come get your bag here in Japan, how you can
Right.
live your Japanese fantasy, how you can travel around Japan, even if you're a broke person like me who just can't go on vacation to Japan for 2 weeks. No, we can't do that. But there is another way, and this is the way that I know. And I'm going to tell you how I did it and how you can do it and the mistakes that I made that you don't have to make now because I already made them for both of us.
Wow, wow. That's very powerful. That's so powerful.